So this week in the news, a Twitch mod for many female streamers said they had an incident in their pants when hugging their favorite female streamer. So I believe Kaif has a bit more information on this one.
Fucking incident in his pants.
So apparently, he's not a Twitch mod
At all?
at all. Like, I don't know why the title says that. This guy's like really well known. There's like videos of him having like interviews and stuff. There's actually a documentary about him as well.
What's he done for a documentary, like?
I don't know. He's just really well known in Twitch for being
Okay.
like a creepy weirdo. But that's not the first time he said like this happened. I think it was, I can't remember the streamer, something Peach. I don't actually know the name. That's the streamer he hugged and he come in his pants. It's not the first time he said that he come in his pants hugging her. But he's also celibate. He's a something like 28-year-old virgin and refuses to have sex, but cannot stop talking about sex. And he says he at least 3 times a week he wakes up to a wet dream.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
So they're not a mod, but they did say those comments, right? On stream.
Yeah. Well, no,
On their own stream, right?
he says in a lot of women's channels.
Ah, okay.
Like he
okay.
says creepy stuff like that. But like he was being filmed there saying like he come in his pants, but he's happy and proud about it. He said it before. Also, notice how he said that nobody laughed. It's so awkward. He's like, "Oh yeah, I come in my pants, I'm gonna go," and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Is she hot though?"
Yeah, that was it. I was like,
just a
Was she,
really
like, super
weird thing to
duper
say.
hot?
Innit?
it was like, I think they were going, at least it'd be slightly more understandable if she was hotter. And I'm like, still fucking weird.
That's a
either way.
really harsh comment to
Yeah.
say. Anyway, it'd be more like either way. It doesn't matter
It's absolutely
like how
bizarre.
attractive they are, right? You just shouldn't say that
It's
thing
creepy.
at all.
It's so creepy, isn't it?
He's a creep.
Like imagine
He's got a
someone we know
problem.
saying that, right? And then we're like, "Oh, they hot." They're like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, it's okay." Of course, it's not okay. Like, you know what I mean? How is that even a response to it?
It'd be a totally different story. It's like, hugged the girl and I come myself, and I'm so like ashamed and disappointed in myself. You'd be like, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that he's like, "Oh, he hugged the girl and I came."
That's like an embarrassing story that you're like, oh, fuck, this
It's just
happened. And
cringe.
it's so embarrassing. And like, you'd feel,
Yeah.
and everyone would be like, that is funny as shit, but, feel bad for you. But to be proud of that.
Yeah, mate, you wouldn't be able to torture that out of me.
Also, the fact he's a 28-year-old, I'd assume, wait,
I don't know how old he is now. 28, 29.
I think, isn't incel involuntarily celibate? Which
Yeah,
means
but
that they just can't get it.
he's voluntarily celibate.
Zito.
Probably not. But incels blame, women for their celibacy. Like this, they don't want to be. But this guy's like, "Oh, I want to be a virgin. I don't want to have sex." You fucking
okay.
weirdo.
What an absolutely
Yeah,
bizarre
it's just
specimen
creep
of a
vibes,
person.
like.
I mean, it's not. There is people like that, right? But
No,
to
I
be,
don't mean for that.
No. But to be like that, but then to like, as
If-
you said, always.
If he was
talk about it.
asexual,
yeah,
sure. But it's the fact he doesn't stop talking about sex.
Yeah.
It's like that kid in school that like has never had a girlfriend, but is constantly like, "Oh yeah, sex." Like you can tell, it's the people who
It's
talk
like Jay
about it
off in
all the
between
time.
It is,
us.
I was
gonna
Jay
say,
off in
yeah.
between us, isn't it?
I'm just really good at shagging now. That's all I'm saying.
Bollocks. Well, how do you do it best then?
Just deep. Try to get really deep, right up to the balls.
And do you put the balls in?
What?
I've heard you got to put the balls in, really, to make it work.
Yeah, can do. Some girls like it, some don't.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Yeah, and it's those type of people that you just know, they can't, they don't get it, but
Yeah.
they're just on about her all the time. It's fucking mad. Oh god,
See if I
such
can find more about it, but I think that's pretty much all I know.
That's so fucking gross, though. Oh my god.
But classic Dexter, fucking
mate.
making up shit.
Since we spoke about that, I've noticed it more and more, where it's like a very high, like it's a eye-catching thing. And you're like, what the fuck? And then right underneath, it's like, by the way, it's this, and it's
Yeah,
completely
this-
separate.
This website just outright lies constantly about everything,
Just
Really
to
bad.
grab people's attention, and it's just
and it works.
It does
and it's
work,
all
yeah.
it's like literally all I see. That like just a shitty website.
Because it's the same thing. See, they do their article. It gets posted on Twitter, and then obviously a lot of the times you do take like the headliners face value. Or
Oh, yeah, of
right?
course.
well,
you
it's like when you see film posters, and it's like, oh no, one company said, oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you read the review, they said this film is absolutely fucking garbage. And then they'll say something's fantastic, but they'll take that bit of word over what they've said.
They grab the bits that
twist,
they want.
yeah.
Exactly.
It literally says, right, Twitch mod for female streamers makes shocking confession to disgust viewers, right? And it goes, Twitch streamer and alleged mod for several other female streamers.
Oh,
like,
God.
They didn't even try to hide it, do they?
No.
Like,
I guess that's their defense, though.
He could be a mod for somebody, but they don't even know.
That's wild, though. Oh, God.
His name is Dallas Galley, by the way. Very well known for being a creep in women's chats.
I just... Oh.
What a loser.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, though, he's going to be infamous now, where people are going to be like, hey, it's the cum pants guy. And
He already was
infamous.
infamous. He had a documentary about his weirdo life.
Wait, a documentary?
There's a documentary on him.
Is there actually? Have you watched it?
No.
Oh.
Don't think I will either.
I kind of feel like I want to now. Just, I don't know, feel slightly better about myself.
What, so you want to watch it and be like, look at this fucking loser.
My life's
that's
fucking
exactly it.
fantastic.
I think it's the documentary where it says he wakes up 3 nights a week in pools of cum.
Oh,
That's fucking buzzing.
Like, as disgusting as it is, it's kind of impressive.
I bet he lives with his mum as well.
Like-
His mum washes his bed sheets. Like,
I'm going to be honest. Waking
That's
up in a
amazing.
pool of your cum is, like, that's a lot. But for 3 times...
Yeah.
I don't think he's telling the truth
Man
about
needs to
that.
jerk his dick. It's good for his prostate.
He's probably just peeing in the bed, and he's like, "Nah, I'm
what'd
gonna
you
say
look
this
at me when you said that?
because of Rob."
Intense
of
eye
Rob.
contact from Kyle to Case.
Sorry, Case. You finger a prostate quite on the leg.
That's what Rob tells us.
Yeah, well, Rob talks out with his fucking arse,
Mate, he
doesn't he?
sits there wanting
And
you
in
to
his
like
ass.
squeeze his prostate like a stress balloon. Like.
Oh.
Also,
Grim.
Glenn at the start of this when there's a word in this that I can't say, so I'm gonna replace
Yeah, no,
it.
for the first
And
30
he's-
seconds.
and he said incident. What he meant was cum.
Yeah.
You got to be good in the first 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Is cum not okay?
It's,
can't really say
it's
anything.
borderline. Like,
Who knows?
I mean, if you put something up and you're saying that and it gets limited ads, you kind of like, meh, that's fair. You can't really argue too much, can you?
I
Come
don't
on.
know, mate. They're
Ah,
fucking
you got
wild.
me.
One of the previous episodes we had, it got put to limited, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because every single one does at the start. I'm like, go off a review, and I'll normally come back and be like, yeah, it's all fine, because there's normally first 10, 15 minutes, nothing really bad said. I mean, the entire podcast is clean, reviewer. They're all fine. But he striked it as saying that there was the F word in the title or thumbnail. And the title was the Tavern Podcast, and the thumbnail was Kaif's face. I was like, and I re-uploaded it and tried it again, and it kept saying the same thing. Even with that, it was weird.
Sometimes I
find whatever
think,
they want.
right, just reviewers get lazy. They
Yeah.
go, because they can see how many times the channels had limited ads. So they'll literally go, yeah, I can't be asked to watch this, hour, 40 minutes long. You probably will get demonetized. Boom, demonetized. Boom, I get paid.
It's silly. It's really silly. Eventually.
We'll have to have a couple of
We'll be fine.
episodes where like we don't say anything bad, so you get back on a good track. Yeah, and, then
And they
we'll be
demonetize
alright.
you anyway.
Yeah.
More often than not, though, every single episode is all green. It's all fine. There's no issues after being reviewed. It's so strange. And we've said some fucking... No, we have not said some interesting stuff during things. So that's weird.
Oh,
But
well,
dude, I cannot ever in my wildest dream... Like, you couldn't get that confession out of me by torturing me. Like, if ever I'd, like, hugged somebody and come in my pants at the same time, nobody would ever know about it. I'd take it to my grave.
you wouldn't be proud about it, would you?
No. I'd be sat there. I'd burn the boxes so not even they'd be able to tell anyone. Like, I'd... No fucker would know, ever. Like, you wouldn't... No chance. I just...
You die inside. You would die inside.
Yeah.
I would, 100%. I'd go... Oh, my fucking
I wouldn't
God,
tell
I did
anyone.
that. I go, oh, yeah, I'd just go into the toilet, flush the boxes, light them up. Bye. This never happened.
And then the title backs up and you're like, wasn't me?
Yeah, exactly.
And then your cummy boxes come back up.
Fucking stay down. Stay down. I'd strangle him in the toilet until we went.
Right. Any more points on coming in your pants by hugging someone?
I've never done it. I can't imagine ever doing that.
Well,
I
you,
think-
you
that-
said you wouldn't say anything.
I mean,
Yeah,
true.
so we don't know. You
If
could
that
be lying.
I could
happens,
have.
you desperately need to start wanking.
I just... Or...
Just touch your dick.
I don't know. I feel like that's such a... insane thing to do. He must have like.
If you can come quickly from hugging a woman, then you just need to start wanking because it'll only take you like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're brushing up against a woman gives you off, a couple pumps and you're done. It's like 10
need
seconds
to-
out your day.
The thing is, right,
Just need
does
to
it
get
class
out
as
more.
sexual assault in that way if you hug somebody, like, and if you could visibly see it or something, or someone said, "Oh, just come on my pants," like, I'd be gross. If I was that woman and he said to me, "I just come on my pants," I'd be like, "Get the fuck away from me, you
Yeah.
fucking creep," and I want to report him because that's disgusting.
So was the sexual assault part there is him telling you he come in his pants?
Yeah, but if he touched me as well,
I mean, he could have peed himself and he just gone.
Well, I mean,
I
if
don't want
you've
to take a
if
pee
you've
myself.
like, you're like consenting to a hug or whatever, and then I guess it happens
I don't know.
uncontrollably. It's a horrible
a
situation
grey-
for
it's
it
a
to
I
grey
guess if it's
area, like-
uncontrollable, then you're like,
Yeah.
and he seems embarrassed by it, you may be like, okay, you fuck.
yeah,
fuck
okay.
off.
If he's embarrassed by it, then I'm
But like,
like,
if he's like, wait, come out my pants, you're like,
Yeah,
you're
that's
going
wrong.
to jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wrong.
He said he's done this to multiple people, though, right?
No, he's just told the story multiple times.
like,
The same.
how would you
story,
feel
is
if
it?
someone hugged you and like, and they're like, "I just came on my hands."
Oh, I'd be mortified.
I'd literally be like, you need to start wanking more and go clean up.
The guy's
Go
like,
away.
"Listen, dude, you
know,
need to wank."
Go
definitely
away.
horrible.
I'd literally like, go away, go clean up, start wanking more.
You know
But if
what
they were
I'd
like,
say?
oh, yeah, come in my pants, I'd be like, well, you're fucking weird.
I'd
I'd
sit
certainly
there.
report someone if it had like if it happened and then they're boasting about it.
Yeah,
You know
Like
what
that's
I'd
wrong,
do?
isn't it?
it
Like,
is wrong.
that-
It's
something should-
violation. I
I'd
feel
sit
like,
there
I
and
feel
they'd tell me,
violated.
and I'd go, prove it.
Sure.
And then they'd come out with sticky hands, and I go, and then I'd run.
Yeah, I think it depends on their attitude, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Come out with a hand looking like a frog or web between them. Ugh. I just made myself feel sick by thinking about that.
see, it's not very good, is it?
But it's
Sorry.
just,
No.
it's so weird for that to be happening to like a 27-year-old man, you know?
yeah.
I was 28.
28, 29, I don't know. I don't know
Guys.
what these now.
Somebody boasted about hugging their favorite female Twitch streamer and coming in their pants when they did it.
That's all it took.
Yeah, that's all it took. How fucking wild is
Was
that?
it Lars?
I'll be glad.
Was it Lars? Yeah, it was with him and
With
Pokemon.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Pokemon, yeah.
Gave her a hug and it's like,
Even better if he was thinking of a donut.
Go on, Stan.
I don't know. Just from what I've heard, I kind of think he's just lying and trying to. boast
Yeah,
his
probably.
it does seem like it, doesn't it?
I don't see. I just think he's lying.
It almost
Still
fe-
makes him
It's a gross
still makes him
lie.
creepy, doesn't it?
It's a
100%.
gross, creepy lie, but I think it's a lie.
I'll be honest. The idea of like somebody coming in their pants, like, I actually not even in the pants, just in general, to do with me, makes me feel weirded out. And I can't even imagine someone giving me a hug and then being like, "Oh, just jizzed everywhere." I'm like,
Sounds like
Get away
bizarre.
from it. You're disgusting.
I never want to
And
know
don't
you
tell
again.
don't tell
ever-
anyone like
What's your username? Quick, I just want to send you a ban.
Oh, all right then. Moving on to less gross stuff. The devs of the Gollum game have apologized for making a terrible game.
Standard. That's 2023. Year
Yeah,
of the
I think
apologies.
Kai, for you the only one who's played it out of us. I haven't
so.
played it.
I've watched your vid and I've watched clips and it's just awful.
I've seen like a lot
Yeah.
of clips of it.
I don't regret playing it. The amount of entertainment I got out of playing it was just awesome. But
For the
doesn't
wrong
make-
reasons.
Yes, for the wrong reasons. Doesn't make it in any way good. Like there was a lot of frustrating parts. Like it was every chapter I was like, oh, here we go climbing again. And you're always climbing up. Some of the chapters you climb up somewhere for them to immediately send you back down to where you were. So you literally didn't have to do that. It was
So-
just pointless.
I watched your video of it, and I've watched one of Donkey, video game Donkey. He made one of it as well, and he was saying that it's you basically go off, collect slave tags, do your chores, come
Yeah.
back, sleep, go off, collect tags, come back, sleep, and it's literally like
I cut
the
it all
next
out.
day. Yeah,
No, as you cut it all out, it was like
It's-
It was like 4 hours of me playing Slave Simulator.
it's insane. I don't understand how anyone thinks that's fun.
Yeah.
Like that's literally all it was. You would get up. I mean,
What did you do?
Huh?
What did you do?
Well, the first one you would do is they send you into the pits to go get slave tags.
Yeah.
Then you go to bed. Then you wake up. Then they send you to feed like, I don't know what they are, maybe like baby orcs or something like that in the gross little pits.
Oh yeah.
And then after you do that, you do like some escape sequence, I think, and then they send you into like the deep lava pits to get slave tags. And then Gollum passes out from the heat, and Sauron's like, "You made a promise to me." I think it's Sauron anyway. It's like an eye staring at him.
Oh my god!
It's like, "You made a promise, go." And Gollum's like the chosen one in this place. He's not allowed to get sacrificed to the light because he's on the list. He's a special boy.
What the fuck?
But like you go through, for some reason you go through all this trouble to bomb the place, right? And then the game gives you a choice of whether there's an orc that steals your bread every night. You could blame him or the guy who came up with the bomb thing. I blame the orc that stole my bread because he stole my fucking bread. And the old guy that you save dies of old age.
So it doesn't matter.
Every choice you make in the game does not matter.
So they knew it was shit anyway, but yeah, they still released it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Like, were they
gaming
just
companies.
thinking, well, bad rap's good rap. Let's just go with it, like.
40 fucking quid.
They probably
And it was 40 quid, and I couldn't even finish the game because the
What was
section.
more?
I think it's 40 odd quid. The section of the game that I was in on chapter 8 did not load.
Oh my days.
Half the map loaded, and I could walk up to the edge of the map and just jump into the abyss.
There was a point in one of the videos I watched where he was talking about how you have to build a bird. And I was
You
like,
do, yeah.
I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
It's basically, there's some markings on the wall, and it's like, take an egg, paint it black, because that's how you change the color of the bird. And then once you've painted it black, you put it on the nest, you put a set amount of sticks, and you push the bellows a certain amount of times, and boom, bird pops out. And then you train the bird to do stuff for you.
What the fuck?
Man.
It's probably just
Shit.
the usual of like they have a budget, they have so much time, and it's like tough. You got to use this time. All the people working on it are probably like, we need more time. This isn't going to work. The game's going to be garbage, and the higher ups are like, well, we need our money, so tough. It's going out.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case.
Yeah,
We've
probably.
invested this much. We need to get a kickback.
I mean, it feels like they had the time to do it because they had the time to put in completely unnecessary segments. There's so much stuff in the game where you didn't have to do it.
Just poor planning.
Like when you get to the elves' place, they're like, "Run free, Gollum. Go run in the grass for a bit." Like he's a dog and he needs to go shit or something. And like you start escaping and they don't care. They're like, "Oh, look at him go. He's like a squirrel." And you basically spend about 30 minutes to 45 minutes climbing out of this elven place. You go all the way up and you see the outside world. And then when you get to the top, those same elves are up there and they're like, "You silly boy, where do you think you're going?" And they bring you all the way back down. And I'm like, you just wasted 45 minutes of my time to go have a little look at the elven place.
The funniest thing I've seen, mind you, from all the clips is when you fall in a pit and you just go, "Ah!" every single time. Or you just bonk your head on like a ledge you're jumping towards.
I saw Moist Critical playing it, right? And there's
Yeah.
a bit where he's walking along a branch and he goes too close towards the edge of the branch. So he just flops over and dies.
The
He's
only
just walking,
thing,
he just goes,
the only thing I really seen is the screenshot of the Gollum in this new game, and then Gollum in Shadows of Mordor, which is like 10 plus years ago,
Yeah.
and it looks so much better, even though it's like 10 years old.
They showed people showed screenshots of what he looked like when it first came out, and I was like, that has to be fake.
Yeah, it's got
Like,
to be
there's
fake
no
news.
way.
Like, yeah.
There with these fucking giant eyes, this weird hair that he doesn't have in any media.
yeah, I feel like
it's so weird.
I feel like they would, because game devs are like, oh, everyone's got to love the protagonist. And it's like, right, it's fucking Gollum.
Yeah.
So, like, what if we make him kind of cute, you know, with the bug eyes, and it just ends up looking, like, terrifying? Like, they've squashed his face, and then they've given him, like, weird, straggly hair. Also, there's an option in the graphics to have Gollum hair physics, by the way.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they give him these bug eyes, and he looks scary. Looks terrifying.
I thought when I first saw it, I thought it was an AI image.
Yeah.
Like people were talking about the Gollum game coming out, and I was like, that's an AI image, right? And then
It looks fake, doesn't it?
It's the real thing.
It's the actual thing as well. It's wild.
The worst part about the game, right? And actually, it made me realize this about games, but dying is a big part of a lot of games. Where like getting caught It's just normal. It happens.
Yeah.
And because the Gollum game, when you get caught, nothing happens. It made me realize how much work devs put into other games. Like when you die in games and like, I don't know, you get grabbed and they like shank the fuck out of you or something like that. It's, it's love has been put into it. In the Gollum game, you get caught, they grab you, and then it freeze frames and says you died.
I think I saw that. Where it's literally just, you died. Instead of any form of, it's like with Dead Space and stuff, with all the different death animations.
Yeah, like
all of
with
that.
Dead Space, there's every time you die, there's some fucked up way in which you die. But at least you see a consequence of your action. Getting caught in the Gollum game, you're like, oh, I guess I died.
It's like a freeze frame, like a scratch of a record, and be like, oh, you did.
I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah, exactly. Like a restart chat? Okay.
And it all started with a ring.
I don't understand why they would try to make him look cuter and appeal to the player, because if you're playing that game, you know the story of Lord of the Rings. Every fucker knows it now. And you know what horrible stuff he's the same dude who sat there fucking arguing with himself over and over again. I kind of wish I didn't make that noise.
I was thinking that's no way like
over and over again. And just doing awful things during the film. There's no way you can redeem that character. It's so silly.
I just hate how they added choices to the game because it just did not matter. There's like a one at the start of the game was like smash the beetle or leave the beetle. Doesn't matter. A ring wraith turns up.
Oh,
so
either
like,
way.
I was like, why the fuck did you make me spend 5 minutes arguing myself over whether we crush a beetle or not?
I hate
because a
when
ring
that
wraith
happens.
pops up and captures you anyway. There's a bit later on where basically you're deciding whether you want to wake up Shelob so that the guy that you're with gets eaten or not. And you travel all the way to Shelob, and then he's like, we won't wake up Shelob. And then you win that argument, and then Shelob wakes up because you're in the room anyway and eats the guy. What was the point?
There's just no storytelling, is it really?
See,
No, I don't know what storytelling.
Yeah.
There's a bit more because with some blind elf, but couldn't get there because the game wouldn't fucking load.
I hate it when games do that, because nowadays with games, when there's a choice, I'll normally sit there for ages thinking of like, which one do I go with? Which one do I go with? Like, ooh, I want to do this, but I want to do... And I try and think out all the consequences that could happen for each.
Yeah.
Before just randomly deciding. And if it's something like that where I press one and it just doesn't matter, then I'm like, oh, I've just wasted, as you said, 5 minutes arguing with myself over which one to go with. And it just is not...
It's like when the Walking Dead Telltale games came out, I watched I watched them on YouTube, but ultimately I was like, these choices don't matter.
Yeah.
Because if the choices did matter, the insane amount of time the devs would have to put into the game for like all these multiple different branching arcs, like this character's dead or they end up going this way. Like if there's a choice where like, do you want to go this way or that way? That's 2 fucking levels you have to make. So like I watched the Telltale Walking Dead and it was ultimately always ends the same way. Somewhat. Sometimes a character's alive at the end and one isn't. And that affected the next one where the character was still... I think it was Kenny or something like that.
Yeah. He went all the way to the end. Or actually, most of the way.
Yeah. So that was like the only big choice. But for the most part, you follow the same route through every one of these games.
I remember playing it because I loved that when I was younger. But it was one of the first, like, your choices matter things.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's like you choose between one person or another. The scenes in the future don't change. It's just one model's there instead of another.
It's which model is going to take over the route of that. Which voice actor is going to take you all the way.
This kid still fucking dies. These people still get infected. This is Telltale's old, but no, there is nothing you can do to stop your character from encountering a fate later on in that game, no matter what you do. And it is all just false choices, and it's so frustrating.
Is there any games that you've played recently that like as bad? Obviously, not the games that we
What,
picked.
as Gollum?
Redfall,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh, you did. That
You
was
played that,
trash,
didn't
was
you?
it?
Yeah.
It was fucking
You
garbo.
two played it.
It was so bad. And like, even if the bugs weren't there, the gameplay was just bland.
Like, there was a moment of realization, right? Where I busted into a bathroom, run in, and I realized there was an enemy in there, and he had question marks above his head.
What? So you charged into a room loud as fuck, and the guy's like, huh?
So he was standing in front of the door. He watched me run through him, and then he was going, "What was that?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
And was that a full price? You know, like
Yeah.
40, 50
yeah,
quid
it's a
game.
spenny game.
It
That
was
was
60.
60.
yeah. You could run
That's a
behind.
kidney, that is.
You could literally like run behind the enemy, and they'd go, "Where's he gone?"
Oh, mate.
And like, they really don't do much. They go, get him, and then miss. The vampires only do one thing, which is run up to you and slash, and that's it. And we were on normal difficulty, and we were steamrolling it, weren't we?
Yeah.
Was it by a known dev?
Yeah, I think so.
What,
Yeah, from the is it?
what did they do?
They did Prey.
We had this discussion
Was it the
yesterday.
Dishonored people? Did they do Dishonored?
I don't know. I just
No, I
remember
don't think so. I think it was
they
Prey.
they said they were the dev team that did Prey, but I think that somebody said like 80% of the staff had left Prey anyway.
So I was talking to Matt about it yesterday, and he said that I think he said 70%, where it was like only like 30
Yeah,
or
the
20,
majority
30%
of the
was left.
Prey dev team had gone.
And I had seen a similar thing where you remember with Back for Blood, they advertised as the Left 4 Dead people.
Yeah.
6%
Yeah.
of
So
the
what?
previous.
I
Team.
mean, I think-
it was either 6% or it was 6 people from the team.
Yeah, I've always
were the
known
ones-
this. Like when people say like, from the makers are like this game, it could just be one guy.
It was literally like I think there was like a documentary about it where there was like hundreds and hundreds of people who worked on Left 4 Dead, and like I'm gonna say 6. I can't remember how. It was 6 people that went to Turtle Rock to then make Back for Blood.
Yeah.
And even though they had a team of 60, 70 people, they still advertised it as from the makers of Left 4 Dead, when it was 6 people who weren't really that involved in it. They weren't the top people. They were just people who made some assets and stuff.
I mean,
and they
Enemy-
advertised it like fuck.
Enemy
about
on
it.
board. They were like, we were League devs. What's that other game we played? Trust No Bunny or something like that.
Oh,
Trust no
Oh,
money.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a couple of League devs as well. I mean, it's
I
it's
guess
normal.
it's standard practice, isn't it? Because, like, I imagine it's quite quite hard to break into, you're a new dev team or whatever. So I guess anything you got to try and market.
I'm
it.
gonna go on to at some point in the future. I'm gonna find my way onto a movie set for like Batman and be a coffee boy, and then I'm gonna go I don't know, edit videos or do whatever and just be like,
from the makers of Batman.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I was part of that Batman team. Hire me, and people be like, "Oh my god, they didn't know I served coffee."
Yeah.
Fuck.
well, moving on then to someone who I guess we're familiar with. If you remember Mizzy, which would have that been last week's?
It was.
Yeah, we talked
So-
about that last week.
But the train. So basically, it's come in the news that they also hijacked the train. I seen a short clip of the video. They get into like the cockpit of the train. I don't know whether they actually moved it or anything, but
think they did.
it's an old video that has like come to surface. But basically, they're still doing like the terrible pranks and stuff. They've had BBC have actually had a lot of backlash recently because they actually hosted him on their Newsnight program.
Yeah.
So again, like giving him a platform.
It was Piers Morgan.
Yeah, Piers Morgan was arguing with him, wasn't he?
So that I think I think Piers Morgan did one with him, but then BBC themselves, this is like a separate program that they also did with him. So he is getting a lot of attention and like a lot of interviews, which obviously hasn't gone down very well. So yeah, it's just basically, they've been arrested. They've been given like injunctions of like, you can't post online and stuff, but
I don't know who
they've-
he is, but I'm sure I've
just
seen a
carried on.
TikTok video of it.
He's a TikTok creator who's done that. Yeah.
I just think he's a danger to society. Like,
It's-
get the fuck out. Like, honestly,
They were talking about
Get
it
out!
last
What are we
week.
doing? Killing him?
just get out of Britain. Like, fuck
They
off. Don't fucking want you. Fuck off. Like,
the thing that started it was they were talking about it last week where he walked into like there was an open door for
there
a
was
house.
there was a
with woman
house. I've seen
outside,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he just strolled past her into their house and like put his feet up on a table
On the
sat
sofa. Yeah, I know.
And he's done multiple things since, like as Glenn said, went into the cockpit of the train and like started fiddling with stuff and being like, "Ooh."
Yeah, with the train one, I think he just beeped the horn over and over, didn't he?
Basically, yeah.
But like, the thing with this is like they claim he hijacked it, but like you see people running out of the train, like they've been blurred, but like they're the ones who got into the cockpit, I think, who are not affiliated with him, and
It
he
was
just went
probably
in.
open already. And
Yeah,
just
he went in
wandered
afterwards to be like, wait, which, I mean, honest, there's so much better. There's better material to be annoyed with him with. The train hijacking one is like, yeah,
I think it's
definitely
just
illegal that he walked into the cockpit, or the cabin rather. But I don't.
I think it's just more the fact that there's more stuff. You know,
Yeah,
there was a lot of things initially, and then obviously because they've got the attention, people are gonna like go through their social media stuff, and they're just finding more videos. So there's like more old stuff coming to light, and they're carrying on to do stuff. And on top of that, news outlets like the BBC are like, "Oh, come on our show,"
But they're influencing.
wind everyone up.
They're
there.
influencing kids then, thinking, "Oh, we could do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it for fun."
I think Mizzy is a byproduct of that influence that's already happened. He literally has been. He said he's been doing it since like he's 11, right? So somebody already influenced him to be like, yeah, any publicity is good publicity.
I mean, he probably grew up
Stupid.
watching
Yeah.
YouTube prank videos. of
He's
people doing
influencing kids, but he himself was a kid who was already influenced by this shit.
it. It's just what we've seen from literally like YouTube pranks, where they wander off and do stupid stuff, and they're trying to push it further and further. The amount of videos I've
kids
seen,
don't even realize like all these pranks on YouTube are fake.
yeah, I think I don't know if it was him, but there was a trend where people would just walk into a McDonald's and just walk past them and go wandering around the kitchen and everything while people were working and film it the whole time. There was even one where one of the staff had locked them in a freezer, like while waiting for the police to come, and like they're like slamming the door, trying to get out and everything, and they've just
I saw a
wandered in.
video last night
It's
where
wild.
someone walked into the back of McDonald's and put a broom in their fryer.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see that now. I want to see what happens to the broom. I'm part of the problem.
It got deep fried.
Oh my
did get
god.
deep
What does a deep fried broom look like?
It's just a broom with batter on it.
I want to see it.
He's getting chased
different
out.
to
Like.
pranks, but ages ago, one of the funny McDonald's videos I saw, there's a customer proper kicking off for like no reason, and they climb over the counter and start fighting people. And one of the people in the kitchen comes out with the rubbish clippers off the floor, like basically wielding it like a sword.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely batters the customers who's fighting the other staff to get out. Like,
I think a good punishment for people like, if people are being disorderly, and like,
Beat him with a stick.
no, like the stuff Mizzy's doing. Do you think like the courts a good punishment would literally be like we're not going to arrest you, but if you post on your social medias, then we will arrest you.
well, that's supposedly what happened. They weren't allowed to post or indirectly post without like the permission of every single person in the clip or something. And they broke that. I think literally the next day, from what I understand, they posted again.
Yeah.
So that's why when they went on to the news night, that's why people were a bit like, well, why are the BBC giving them a platform? And like, how are they still, why isn't anything happening once they, because they've broke.
I'm sorry, but if you wander into my house filming, you're getting the fucking shit kicking out of you. Like, honestly.
How do you know if they broke it then?
Pardon?
thought you were gonna
I'm
say I
sure.
broke
I'm
in.
sure. I
was like, she just walked in.
Definitely don't quote me. It's not like, but I'm sure I read an article that they literally the next day they posted something.
Yeah, but how do you know they didn't get permission? They probably didn't, but like
I
isn't-
said,
isn't that why they haven't been
I'm
arrested?
going on the
'Cause
article. However, after those Dextro articles we read
Yeah.
earlier, the article could be complete bullshit. So
No, I mean like, so say like he posts the next day.
yeah,
The reason he probably isn't arrested is because the police have to find out whether he
Yeah,
had permission.
true.
So they probably have to be in touch with him again. I don't know.
There's
Maybe we'll find out
apparently-
something over the next few weeks.
yeah.
I've just Googled something about it, and it said that he was arrested for breaching court orders by posting new videos.
Well, there you go.
So he has had that happen for breaching pipeline. Oh wait, different person. But yeah, it does say that.
and
that
it's
is a
not
thing.
like
Case closed.
it's a new thing either, because I think they were previously arrested when they were harassing people before, where they were doing the leapfrogging stuff. So it's not even like it's a first time nuisance or offender or whatever. So
Sounds
I
like a
dunno.
good ban though. It'd be like, hey, you're disorderly in public. You're harming people. You're banned from social media for a year, and yeah, you post, you going to jail. Because like that's
probably
the only way you
work.
can punish someone, really, right?
yeah,
Because if you got put on house arrest, you'd be like, "Wait, look at me, I'm on house arrest," and he'd probably get more views.
Yeah, the only way you could be is because they don't care if it's like infamy or whatever. Then
What if he makes
you have to
another
stop
account
them.
or
You know.
something? Like, how are they gonna have to keep tracking him and stuff? That's
Well, if he
just
makes a new account, then he has to start from square one, doesn't he?
I know.
And if it does take off, they found him again.
Yeah, so I guess it's always difficult in the sense of like, because isn't this what you said ages ago, going off topic a bit, that Keemstar did? So they got banned from YouTube, but then they got, the way around it was they got someone else to make an account. So technically Keemstar doesn't own the account, so Keemstar can still post on YouTube.
It's someone else's channel and Keemstar is the host. So that's the way around the ban.
So that's what I mean, it's difficult in the sense of like, they could just get a friend or a relative to post videos of them, and they're just like, well, you know, it's not my account, it's not me posting, you know. So it's,
I can imagine
if
if he did that.
if they could make it work, it'd be good. But
I can imagine if he did that, he'd still get arrested.
yeah,
Like-
like unlucky, blame your relative.
Yeah, the police aren't going to go, oh no, a loophole.
My nan did it. Get her.
Wow, that's definitely not you in the video. Whoa.
Oh,
It was mad with Keemstar, mind you, because he did that and he had this whole saga of like making channels and having other people in charge of them and stuff like that over and over again until he eventually just.
Well, no, I mean, they're still going, right?
Yeah, but I think he's allowed to have it now. It's mad.
It's fucking stupid.
Little rat.
I'm gonna read this wrong. Hunter Mims is going to therapy and has apologized for comments they made. Now, I don't know any of these comments, but Kaif does.
Great.
Wait,
So
is
they
it
were.
Mims or is it that sicko guy?
That is him.
Oh, it's the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
same
it's the
person.
same
Oh,
person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sentinel Sick.
That
Yeah.
guy.
So, yeah, he,
Wait, is that his real name?
That was their Twitter name, so that's why I took that down.
He it started like, I don't know,
good
maybe
though.
like a month ago, or maybe longer.
I think it's been the past month or two.
He just suddenly had like just like an episode where
An
like he
insane,
just
like, breakdown, yeah.
completely changed. He was like saying the most offensive shit. Said some creepy thing about a woman that I can't remember now.
I can't remember what it was, but it was a lot of like really inappropriate stuff towards different people, and like a real big break. Like it almost felt like he was like, I don't want to say schizophrenic, but like that kind of, what it was just sudden, like a sudden, no, actually not that, but just like a flip, and he would just be like tweeting out all this horrible stuff all the time, and everybody around him that knew him would just like, this isn't him. Like he's just really ill at the moment.
He constantly like saying the N word on stream, the F slur, stuff like that. I made creepy comments about a woman, and then eventually she was like, "Nah, I give up on him." And then what's that one Sentinels player called? Is it Scream?
Pass.
I can't remember. He was like, "I'm blocking him. This isn't him. He needs help."
So are they still with Sentinels? Like the whole,
Yeah,
like, the whole
they've
time.
been benched. They're still with Sentinels. They've been benched. Sentinels is now paying for the like rehab or therapy or whatever. I don't know what the fuck happened with him, but he was saying some like outrageous stuff. I'm gonna load up his Twitter now because it was wild as fuck. But like there was so many people, and it's like people on the internet are sick. They see someone like clearly they're going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, let's egg him on. They're like, yeah,
poke the bear, like.
yeah. They would keep going like, and they're like, pop off, bro.
But people love to see like downfall and someone going nuts, don't they? Which
fucked
is
up,
like
man.
messed up. But
That's drama to them, isn't it? Like,
Pretty much. I looked up the ex-girlfriend thing, and he said that he basically said the next time he sees her, he's going to slap the shit out of her. But then I started laughing because I don't know why, but it says the streamer come Valorant streamer, and I don't know why it literally just says the word come. It's like streamer.
oh, it is literally
Valorant
spelled
streamer.
CUM in the
And
article.
like the streamer come Valorant streamer. Like I don't understand what that means, but it's literally streamer. CUM.
Oh, Shazam was his name.
I'm like, huh? But yeah, to go back to that, there were many people who were blocking him and typing out tweets so he couldn't see them, to let people know how like off the rails he was.
right, okay.
Which is a really weird thing to do, but it kind of makes sense, because I would imagine if he did see them, he would have flipped out on them, those people. But that's fucking wild, actually crazy.
I mean,
really
if they
sad.
go through like actually do the therapy sessions and stuff,
Yeah.
and obviously they have apologized, then I mean they're doing the right things, I guess. I guess it doesn't always like
Work
make
out
up
that way.
for obviously the comments they made and stuff, but I
Yeah.
mean all you can do is try and sort it out, like, isn't it?
He at one point wrote he's running for president in 2034. For some reason.
Look, at the end of the day, fucking Donald Trump
Yeah.
become the president of the United States.
Yeah, he's
So,
running again.
It's a
Oh, do
diamond.
you remember when Kanye was going to run for president?
I know. What happened to that?
I mean, he hated Jewish people and then watched the film of 21 Jump Street and went, yeah, I like Jews now.
Oh, there was some drama I read about them. So
What, Kanye?
So Kim Kardashian has come out and said that the stuff that Kanye's doing now is more damaging to her kids than her sex tapes.
Yeah, I read that.
So that caused like a lot of like debate in the comments
Yeah.
about it. And I was like, probably overall the stuff that Kanye's doing is definitely worse.
It's far worse.
But I think in school at least,
Oh,
I think
mate.
you'll get the piss taken
Yeah.
out of you more for what Kim did versus
Yeah, but
Kanye.
they're so rich that they can just fucking send them anywhere.
I
they
mean,
should homeschool
they're
them with the
damaged
best
anyway.
teachers.
Fucking hell, look at
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Like, every single person is going to be sat there being like, I
doesn't
watched
matter.
your mum take a dick.
exactly. It doesn't
Like,
matter what your mum and dad does. You're
If I
fucking
was in
damaged
school
kids,
and
like.
my
Yeah.
man was in a porn video, I'd probably kill myself, like, because Jesus Christ, you wouldn't be able to get away from
You
that
definitely,
bullying.
like, just-
every single bastard would be there,
Yeah.
like, I whacked over your mum,
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't be able to escape it.
No, but kids
Oh,
are evil,
mate.
aren't they? In school,
They'd be sat
kids are
there
evil,
and they'd
like.
be. The kids are so bad. They'd get the video and come up to you and be like, "Look at your mum, wait."
Look at the pussy.
I know exactly. They'd take a screenshot and be like, "Oh, look at that," and you go, "Oh, that's all right." And then they fucking zoom out and it's your mum. Like,
Oh no!
kids would be.
Would you? Would you?
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, would you do it?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I would." And then they zoom, like they just
You drew your
they
mum.
scroll up and it's like, "Hey, it's your mum." Hey. Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, kids are evil.
Kids are
But,
like, there's make whatever tapes you want. They get leaked. They don't. It's not your fault. It shouldn't be an issue. But holy shit, they're gonna get bullied.
This is a while ago now though, but her kids were playing, I don't know, Roblox or something,
Yeah,
and like adverts were coming up with her sex tape.
yeah.
Did you?
Yeah,
That was
I
ages
saw it,
ago.
yeah. It was literally advertising
Yeah.
their tape in Roblox,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Huh, mum?" Oh god, I feel bad now, but holy shit.
Yeah, they're all fucked up, man.
It's fucking insane. You having fun?
I'm trying to find like his tweets, but fucking hell, this was a while ago. I think
Oh,
this-
what? The Sentinels guy?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, we're
still
all
looking.
about Kim Kardashian.
I know.
I thought the.
I'm still scrolling.
All right.
You might delete them.
Either way,
Maybe.
though, at least they don't. The kids don't have to worry like money wise or anything, right? It's just not like they're
No.
gonna
Yeah, they
need to
don't
go
even
into
need
the
to go to
world
school.
of yeah.
I know you don't know.
They could just sit home, fucking play Xbox, and have people talk about fucking it.
They just pay. They'll just pay for like a grade. Like, oh yeah, I'll just pay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you find any tweets?
I
Probably
give
not
up.
deleted.
Yeah. Well, I
probably
think
deleted
it's
them.
probably the same conclusion, right? I mean, they're doing the right things
Yeah.
to make it better or whatever. Although I do think a lot of the times when people are going through an absolute mare, turning off your social media is probably best. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
100%.
you don't need to have your breakdown all public, do you?
No.
I don't think anyone could get access to it. Like he streamed the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got banned, unbanned, banned, moved to kick.
Oh, okay.
You know,
But they
like-
they got banned because
Kick
of their
was like,
comments.
"Come
and
here."
that. Yeah.
basically, my boy.
What's
My
that?
boy,
You
we
got banned
li-
from Twitch?
we
You're
like the-
controversial? Yes.
We like the way you talk.
Oh Christ.
That
Rumble.
no, there's some huge streamer who signed to Kick recently.
Bruce dropped him off.
That's the one.
Oh,
and
God,
I have no
yeah.
context for why there is this clip, but they basically said that
Yeah.
he doesn't care if Mizkif kills himself.
He said
Mate,
something. He
hot.
said nobody would care. I think
Yeah, he said nobody would care if Mizkif kills himself because Mizkif's on about.
moving
I think
to
he is.
Rumble. I think it's called.
Yeah,
I
something
don't know
like
what
that.
it is.
Okay.
But
It's another streaming
this
platform.
guy was being racist towards him in a COD lobby, right? and they were arguing for ages to the point where he was like, $20,000. Anyone who can dox this guy for me, I'll give him $20,000. But then it was immediately racist back to him for being Mexican. So like, you know, the guy's an asshole, but you stoop to his level.
This Bruce guy has time and time again done really stupid things and just been an absolute prick to people. Like it's.
But they've been around
awful.
streaming for like 10 years, right?
Yeah, I think he used to be in OTK and then he got kicked out of it.
Okay.
Nice.
Like so he was mates with all of them, then he left and he's like, I don't care if my old friend kills himself. Like, come on. That's
Oh yeah, I
awful.
think he had like a disagreement with Mizkif, wasn't it?
That's probably. Who doesn't? But yeah, I have no idea what that streaming, like what Rumble is. I keep seeing the name pop up, but I've not read it.
Initially, I think
Rumble
it
is
was
for the
aimed-
rejects.
I thought initially it was aimed at like the right, wasn't it? And it's like you can say what you want, freedom
I
of
think
speech.
That's what it was.
Because that's where that.
It's a
Did you ever
Pokemon
see
clip
Steve
recently.
Will Do It?
I've heard
No.
the name.
Pardon?
Nah.
Oh, they're just like another. They got banned off YouTube, and then they went to Rumble.
There's a clip with Pokemon was talking about, and that's how I found out what it was saying that Mizkif was leaving and going there, and that she was like, "Oh, what is Rumble? Isn't that the like the right wing thing where they I can't remember what it was, but was basically like quotation marking certain things, talking about it being a very right wing thing.
Isn't Rumble owned by a right-wing politician?
Probably. What isn't nowadays?
True.
So moving on to some of the more silly news this week. So supposedly, Seagulls in the UK have started stealing drugs. So apparently swooping down and stealing the little bags of drugs.
Fucking
So,
hell, even the Seagulls don't want to live here.
Jesus.
so like I could just imagine now. I mean, seagulls are known for being a nuisance anyway, but like, you know, you got a seagull high on coke or something.
Can you imagine?
You might have some proper
seeing
funky
that, like-
birds after.
That's mad. Fucking hell. They'd be even more of a terror. Oh my god, have you seen those giant seagulls? They're going to be roided up in no
Can you
time.
I know.
imagine?
The ones down Barry Island, like stealing your chips. I mean, what the fuck?
They're these
They'd
big
be like, "Give me your fucking
bastards."
wallet.
I know. Oh, mate.
Fucking you imagine a seagull on withdrawal, like
It's like some seagull landed on his shoulder and just looking at Rob being like, she's mine now.
Just takes off. Starts flapping away with you.
What are you going to do about it? But yeah, I mean, there's not much more to that. I just thought that was quite
That is funny.
stupid.
That's hilarious.
And then more of the story that's wild that it's even made. So supposedly Catholic priests in France are going to be given digital ID cards with a traffic light system, right? Which basically is like green, they're good, you know, amber, they're a bit dodgy, red, they're fucked up black. And the reason why is to tackle sexual abuse. So it's like the Catholic Church kind of admitting that the priests, they were fucked up black.
Well, they said
So they got
did,
an
they
ID
did.
card. So can
Yeah,
you go
so
up
it's
to them and
literally
say,
with a QR code, right? So like,
who gives them the ID?
I think from the church.
Couldn't they just scan
So it's
everyone
like
and
it's
go
like
green,
the
green,
it's
green,
like the
green,
church registering the priest and being like, okay, well, you're like you get a green, right? So then when someone goes to church or whatever to like, I don't know, get advice or work with them, they can literally scan a QR code on the ID card. So then the people in the public know,
sorry.
they're a good priest.
why don't they just get rid of the priest?
Why don't
Exactly.
they?
Why not
Exactly.
just the people who are fucked up?
What
You're out.
the fuck,
Get
like?
out.
Once you got like a red ID, it's like bye.
Yeah. So I didn't.
Even an amber one.
I don't know what
I
the
know.
exact like plan is, and I don't know what happens if. But you'd like to think if anyone is amber or red, like they're not allowed to operate anymore. You know, it's messed up. Like,
Like with the Wi-Fi. Oh, Father, where's your QR code? All right.
yeah,
Nah, I'm leaving.
yeah. Imagine that you've been visiting the church like fucking 2 years or whatever, and then QR. Oh, give us a bleep on that. Oh, shit.
Oh, he's been diddling kids. I'm off. Where's the next church?
Yeah, you'd think amber is like currently being investigated. Red is they did it.
In prison, like.
They
Jesus.
did it. Why are they not in jail?
Mate.
It makes no fucking sense. Honest to fucking
I
God,
find it
like.
mental that there's like a general acceptance
Exactly.
that it
yeah.
happens,
It's
and it's like,
fucking ridiculous.
okay, so like, why aren't people being prosecuted? Why aren't people going to jail? Why aren't like, aren't the organizations being like taken down? It's so messed up, especially when they're a huge organization.
But
You
like
know?
they must get reported though, surely.
Nah,
guess.
probably not.
Yeah,
They
they get a
probably-
nice little red ID card.
I mean, we don't know if it's sexual assault yet because they just hug the kids and then come in their pants.
Grim.
I like referencing back to previous.
I like that.
That is grim, like.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that is
It's
That's
fun.
that is
mental.
wild. Like you
That's
can't
actually
imagine
mental.
that in any other like industry, can you?
No.
It's really weird that
Blizzard might have had it.
they're giving a solution to something that already has a solution, which is arrest them. But they're like, look, guys,
He's a
you'll know.
priest.
I mean, I guess it'll be. I guess looking at it
He's
in
a
a
man
good
of
way.
He's
God.
untouchable.
No, untouchable. Just can touch him.
He can touch, but yeah.
I guess it is good. I guess for the priests that aren't kiddie fiddlers, because they can go look.
I haven't got
Check
caught
me
yet.
out. Yeah. I'm one of the good ones. But then I'm wondering, what stops them just being like, fucking everyone's agreeing? You know, if you turn
Fucking-
against us, if
It's-
you say someone we don't like, you're red now.
We've
Can't get
investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's what. Like
It-
unless it's an independent
I
body
mean,
who's giving them the
I love
traffic
how
light
they're like,
system.
keeping up with the times and giving them QR codes out. Like,
Yeah.
sure, I mean, like,
I think it is a interesting system that has the potential of being abused big time, like with kids and priests. Because they could, if a priest was talking out against them, they could quite literally just be like, you've done nothing wrong, but we're changing your code. You're an amber now. Keep talking. We'll make you red.
True.
And that would fucking kill off. It could be a really nice dude, but he's fucked. Because he talked out against fucking Popey Benny. Like,
Yeah, but like, if people talk out against the church and they make them red and they get rid of them and they push them away, then all that's left in the church is pedos. And
We're
that
all
makes the
marked
job
green.
easier for the police, doesn't it?
no, because they haven't fucking done anything yet. It'd make it easier if they were all marked red and you could just go, all right, arrest. They fucking haven't yet. I could rant about.
I bet none of them are green.
We're not
They're all
gonna do
fucking
that,
amber
Yeah,
and
none
red,
of them
like,
agreeing. They're all amber.
Yeah.
There's some priest watching this video going, what the fuck, dude?
Some guy who's done nothing wrong. He volunteers 60 hours a week at a homeless shelter
fucking
and all
under
this
me.
other
He's
good
watching
stuff,
our
like-
video, really happy about all this. Then he sees this and he's like, fuck. And then he'll just go to his little gym in the basement. I'm on about pumping, working out.
Oh, it's Jim. It's Jim in the basement. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on about working out.
Oh, God. All right. Then the other one we got this
This one ain't
week
getting
is
monetized. I'll tell you that.
one of Pablo Escobar's hippos has been killed in a collision with an SUV.
Oh no.
So there's multiple hippos there. They're not native to the area. And obviously people complain saying they're a danger to the public. Although it's quite funny because they're a danger to a public. This is an example of how they're dangerous for people. And then the sentence underneath is the hippo died. Everyone in the car was fine. Which I thought was
I sent
quite
this
funny.
link in earlier, and
Yeah.
my immediate response was, one of his hippos? How many does he
It's
have?
like over 100.
So
it says
Pablo
in
I
that.
like how
Escobar
it's explained.
introduced hippos to the area.
Yeah.
So every hippo in that area is a descendant of Pablo Escobar's hippos.
That's fucking insane. I can't believe it.
Haven't he he's done like loads of stuff like with wildlife and bringing over stuff like he's just like
Oh,
random.
more than likely.
He
Yeah.
did a lot. He had a good old drug empire.
Yeah, I mean,
lots of bribing and lots of power, and people were afraid of him, and he just did whatever the fuck he wanted.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was that rich and powerful, I'd definitely be like, I'm gonna bring an invasive species in and ruin this economy. Like, fuck it. why
I'm glad
not?
you're not
Who's
rich and
gonna stop me?
powerful.
I mean, like drug powerful. Because
Okay.
you'd already be.
If you ever
you'd-
got corrupted by drug power, you'd be like,
you'd
we'll go the whole
already
hog.
be unlike the alignment skill. You'd already be evil, so you may as well go even more and just be like, I'm gonna fucking bring invasive species. I'll bring hippos to Cardiff. Fuck it, why not? And then they're suddenly here, and I own millions of hippos.
Mate, the bite power of a hippo.
They're one of the most dangerous
Yeah.
creatures in the world.
Yeah.
They're scary.
Yeah.
fast.
You see those
Yeah.
goofy
Yeah.
teeth, and you're like, oh, they couldn't hurt anyone. Oh,
You see the little babies and they're so fucking cute.
Oh,
And the big
babies
ones,
are
they're
so
adorable. And it's
cute.
like, oh my God. And then they chase after you in a boat and you can't outrun them.
Oh,
and then
they're
everyone-
very fast.
They're
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it, but they're very fast.
I went to
they're fucking ugly.
Africa. I
The
think they're
babies are
adorable.
cool.
The
I-
babies are fucking ugly as well.
Oh.
Like
What's wrong
goofy
with you?
fucking teeth.
I went to Africa about 13 years ago at my school, and one of the people we were with there, like one of my schoolmates, was like,
Mate, sorry
I'm
to
scared.
interrupt you, but can you show the podcast the photo?
no. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
Have you
No.
seen it?
No.
I will have to show you
Oh,
after.
Anyway, there's one of my schoolmates was terrified of hippos, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck are you on about?" And then he explained and told me all about it. And since then, I've been like, "Oh, that's a
That's scary.
yeah, so cute though." All right, the photo Glenn's on about is so we went for an expedition there for a month where we went out, built fucking schools and houses
Yeah.
and stuff, which was really nice. But one of the villages we went to, we all had like the kids that were there wanted pictures and stuff, so we were like, "Oh, we'll have
Yeah.
pictures. Why not?" And there's a picture of me with all these kids around me, and I'm the only one smiling. And there's like 20, 25 kids there, and it's a like it reminds me of actually there is a kid who's smiling in it, and I remember his face. There's even one who's putting his fists up to the camera, which is interesting. But anyway, it really nice, great time for me. I loved doing all that. It was so nice, and the picture's really nice for it. The boys saw it, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And they've made fun of me for it ever since.
I'm sure it's been a long time since I've seen it, but don't you look older in the photo than you do now? Or I think when you showed us, you looked older, even though the photo was like 5 or 6
I
years
was
ago.
17 at the time.
Yeah.
I had like a buzz cut haircut. I was all dressed up in like hiking gear and stuff like that, and I probably did look like I was in my 40s. I've got the picture back home as well. Like it's a nice picture, but unfortunately, all boys saw it, and it's now tainted forever.
The boys are evil.
I'm gonna have to put it on the fucking screen now. Thanks.
You
Glenn.
don't have to, do you?
I'm gonna have to. It's just the way it is. Thanks, Glenn. You've ruined my day.
The thing is, it's like, I haven't seen it for years, so like it might not even be that bad. Like,
Fucking.
This is where it turns out they're all smiling.
yeah,
Oh, they
and it's
definitely
totally the
would.
picture's totally fine.
Oh,
like.
they definitely wouldn't. I've looked at it. It was only after they mentioned it that I looked at it and I was like, huh.
You're fucking right.
I was like, that's kind of tainted now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sad.
But whatever.
They hated you.
Probably. I hated me.
Fair.
I still do.
Sam, I hate you too.
I know. I hate you as well. All right, do you fucking bye?
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
I thought he was going to be like, all right, bye.